All right. Want to welcome everybody to a live edition of the Brewery Boys broadcast. Well, we can call it live if we're recording to upload, I guess. But we're we're out and about here at Mr. Brews Patio, Mr. Brews Taphouse on Reynolds Road, right next to the Meyer. I'm joined by Tim. We got Buckeye Jason, and we got Slow Count going on here.
Buongiorno.
So, Steve said he's going to join us a little later, so he'll join us in process so far. But Tim and I are enjoying the Rheingeist Cincy Light Lime Lager. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. Jason, what are you sipping on there?
I had what did I have here? I had the Paradise Punch Sour by High Wire Brewing, Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Nice little fruity summery mix.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging the Rheingeist lime lager.
Smells nice and good.
I'm a huge fan of the Garage lime, so you know this is right along our up my alley. We got a nice little breeze blowing through, so
Feeling good, not direct sunlight, just feeling good.
yeah. So anyway, so the one thing I did want to talk about is
You're good? Y'all still doing good?
yeah, we're all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you know we've been out and about a couple times. We went to Mr. Brew Dude or Brew Dude, whichever. We haven't recorded anything, but we do have something lined up for him to do something with him, just to get a little airtime for him and some more airtime for us. I would like to talk to him about brewing a beer for us. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Nice select brand for us.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So, but some of the things, you know, we got possible, you know, get out and about. Jack Brown's is dying to have us back. So, anyway, I wanted to go into the wrestling roundup because
Wrestling Racket.
I know you probably didn't watch the Night of Champions
No.
the Saturday.
Anything
So,
newer version, because now I think they've isolated a lot of fans by going to, what is it, on Peacock now?
Yeah.
Where you have to buy it. I think that's kicked out a lot of people.
well, yeah, I mean, obviously you're paying for the streaming service, but then yes, you do have to pay an additional fee for some of the sports stuff. I think WWE happens to be one of them.
I did not watch it.
All right, so I'm gonna let you go on this one. What was your take on it? I know you were kind of shooting me some text on Saturday while you were driving back from Louisville.
Well, Night of Champions, obviously, this was in Saudi Arabia, another one of their big money events. So
Riyadh season or whatever they call it.
yeah. You know, I think they just put a lot of matches together on that card just to make them happy. You've got John Cena over there versus CM Punk. Obviously, all the fans want. John Cena's the heel right now. I feel like he's going to retire with that title. He's going to make it through all 12 main PLEs and keep it. Meanwhile, you've got all these other guys in the back burner. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournaments were also not impressive at all.
No.
The winners of those are not what the fans wanted to see. You know, I mean, obviously, Randy Orton probably should have beat Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes is the moneymaker. And then the same with Jade Cargill winning that match. You know, that they want to put all their money and time into who they want and not what the fans want.
Yeah.
But that's just the current product. However, Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn, 5-star match in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was a solid event, really good. Nice to see Karrion Kross on a pay-per-view again.
Yeah.
Getting the highlight that he
I
deserves.
really hope he gets a little bit of a push.
Yeah. I thought for sure he was going to win that one, but obviously, you know, Sami Zayn is big coming off his run with the Bloodline, and people like that. Plus, it was his first time getting to come out wearing the Saudi colors.
Yeah.
Sami is a Muslim, and that was a big deal for him, getting to go over there and do that.
Which I feel he's going to be on every Riyadh card. Like everything that goes over there, he's going to be on the card somehow.
Yeah, whether it's main event, tag team match, or something, they'll figure it out. But my biggest take from the whole thing is like I said, you said I was texting you about this. As I think we're going to see the fight for the Bloodline. Yet another member of the Samoan dynasty making his debut at that pay-per-view. I believe SummerSlam comes around, Roman Reigns comes back, and you get Roman Reigns with the Usos and
Jacob.
With Jacob Fatu. Yeet, exactly. You know, the best 4-letter catchphrase to date right now.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, versus the new current Bloodline, and that will finally end this 5 years of bloodline that we've seen coming, and who knows.
Well, let me throw this out there real quick. We're talking about the bloodline, and I know you guys, like I said, I haven't watched that much. The bloodline, 5 years worth of bloodline, is it worth it? Is it a good storyline, or is it been played out years ago?
It's a good storyline, I think, but Roman Reigns was a part-timer. He had health issues with leukemia, so he would only do 2-3 pay-per-views a year, and then COVID happened, so the title didn't change hands a lot. In my opinion, going back to when the Winged Eagle was a big title, that bad boy was defended every single night. He wanted to be a reigning champion, and Roman Reigns just kind of put a stop to that. It wasn't, it was cool. It was entertaining. It kept it going. It was the new NWO. I feel like, that no one could beat him.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
I think it did go probably 2 years too long, and like you said, with the health issues, and I don't know if the pandemic played into that, because it seemed like during the pandemic that was when you're coming to the end of the Brock Lesnar run, when he was appearing every 6 months, and that was it. So, but I think it did. I think it went kind of 2 years too long, but it was a good storyline. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was definitely involved, and the way it played, like, drew it out was great.
It seemed like from the outside looking in, it was just that was the show.
It was.
Yeah. The Bloodline was the show. It was like nobody else.
It was.
Had anything.
And then coincide that with Cody making his return to the WWE, it kind of became almost Monday Night Raw. Kind of became the must-see TV on Mondays now. That going back to the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
When you would you watched it to see, well, what are they going to do now? So this was kind of the thing, was like, okay, what's Cody going to do? Like they were making sure his promos during that time period when he first came back, his promos were prime time. Like 9 o'clock was Cody Rhodes coming to the ring, and then it was a commercial break, or it was coming out of commercial, and here comes Cody. It was like you were locked in, and you did. It hooked me, because I mean, there for the longest, exactly. There for the longest time, it was like, okay, whatever. But then when he came back, and it started kind of being that whole shoot type of interviews again, like back in the day, it's like, we got a little something going on here.
Yeah, a 3-hour wrestling program was definitely an hour's worth of Roman Reigns talking and his storyline, not fighting, going back to the back, and then you didn't see him again
for a month.
Yeah. I think that's just what it was. He'd come to the pay-per-view, come out Monday Night Raw, then he wouldn't see him again for a month.
Exactly. So do you going back to your take on, so if Roman comes back SummerSlam, do you feel that Survivor Series or War Games will be Bloodline versus Bloodline?
I think in some way, shape, or form. There's still a few Dynasty members that haven't joined, and I just
Zilla.
Zilla, obviously, Rikishi's
nephew,
but Umaga's son, which is a big deal. They want to pay homage to Umaga, but I think that Roman Reigns takes the title from John Cena, and then you see that all over again.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. I don't know who else. I mean, you've seen Cody now. Cody had it for a long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they want to give it to CM Punk.
So tell me, what's up with the John Cena story? I thought he was going to be the big last hoorah, was going to be the
it hasn't
main
played
of the
out
show,
how
and
they
it
thought
just
it would.
seemed like he just kind of dropped off. Even like I said, for me, looking from the sidelines, like he's nowhere to be found.
Well, he comes out, and it's like they play his music, but it's like no lights. It's all black and white. He basically says he's trying to ruin wrestling.
He wears his title backwards.
He wears the title backwards. He hangs the towel on the "You Can't See Me," So and the camera follows him to the ring, behind him, and all that kind of stuff. And then, but he's like, they turn him heel. This has been one of the last rides. I think this has been one of the worst last rides for anybody.
He, to me, has never been that strong of a character per se. He gives us a couple taglines, but he's never been a force that I thought carried the show.
Right. He was okay. So it's no secret. He was a Hogan. He was one of Vince's boys.
Yeah.
Like Hogan was a Vince's boy. Same thing with Cena. Cena was handpicked during after the Attitude Era, wrestling kind of took a dip. And when McMahon bought WCW, they put it on Cena's back to kind of lift it back up a little bit, and it kind of brought it back, but not to the level that it was in the 90s and all that kind of stuff.
I did just read earlier, he is the only champion who have held all 5 current WWE titles.
Yeah.
All the different variations
of the belt
in the current product. So that's a pretty interesting fact. But I think, speaking on John Cena, I do like him. He's entertaining. But what brought him back, if you go back and look at it when he decided to come back to wrestling, it was when Hollywood was on strike.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make movies. What was he going to do? He was going to wrestle. He had to make money, right? I mean, he lives this lifestyle, and there was a job for him.
Right.
Vince was out. Triple H asked him to come back. He did, and getting a decent run out of him. But
yeah, it hadn't been that great. I mean, you have 20 years of a Randy Orton, or however long that feud was, along with the CM Punk, and you're shoving them into basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You can't, and then then we're culminating in a pay-per-view match. It's like, come on, if you're doing a storyline, this is like we're rushing everything because Cena's only got a year left, and it's like, okay, I don't know, could have been handled better. I've been very disappointed.
It just doesn't seem catch. His promos I've seen are just weak.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
He only had really good ones.
It's like he's like the weird guy. Like he just stepped in. Like this is his first foray into wrestling. Like there's some weird guy just threw out there. It's like it's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's not conducive. But to piggyback on Tim, I thought the only one good match was the Karrion Kross Sami Zayn. The rest of the pay-per-view was just total crap. Like it was just not good. And
I mean, you could have wrote it yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone, you knew who was going to win every single one of those matches, and that's just kind of how it went.
So, all right. So that's enough about that. We can sit here for days.
Yeah.
But just a reminder, OVW is going to be at Manchester City Music Hall on Saturday night, July the 5th. Try to make it down there, see what Slow Count's got going on with baseball and whatnot.
Who is the star of OVW?
season?
I don't know who's their world champion right now.
Right now they've got a big stable going on with Doug Basham.
Oh, they're still doing
they're still doing it, and they all have
Okay.
they have every single title in OVW.
What was it called? They do the.
I forget the name of that one.
But I mean, it's pretty calm. I mean, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
I haven't really kept up with it much because you never know when it's going to be on. It's on YouTube. But
yeah, one of our favorites is actually in Hollywood filming right now, so he won't be in Cash Flow. He's doing
Cash Flow.
Season 3 of Tulsa King.
Yeah, he's Bigfoot on Tulsa King. So, but yeah, he's one of our favorites.
But we do got to get down there sometime. Doug Basham did promise an interview. So,
yeah, he did. Yeah,
now that we got everything going, maybe we can get with him and get 5-10 minutes of his time. And just do some fireball questions at him. And
I'll show him the old Basham Brothers autograph picture we got. So, but then we got a thing coming up. Is it September or November with this
September
Gen X in Cynthiana? We want to get a booth and promote the Brewery Boys right next to Chris Harris and the franchise Shane Douglas. That's later. But anyway, I want to shout out to the NWA, the one we grew up watching. The NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, they now have a Roku channel. You can see them every Tuesday night at 6:05 on X, which, Twitter. But Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's son, is a part of a faction called the Southern Six. And that's Kerry Morton, Alex Taylor, and Thrillbilly Silas Mason. Thrillbilly Silas. So you gotta check these guys out. Anyway, Kerry and Alex actually won the United States Tag Team Champions. And I wanted to talk a little bit about those titles because you remember back in the day, you and I watching it when we were kids, the U.S. title was a prestigious, especially the tag team titles. They were prestigious. Yes. That's what you had the Rock and Roll Express, you had the Midnight Express. Those were guys that obviously, the big boys usually had the world titles, and all that kind of stuff. But to me, the U.S. tag team titles are a prestigious title, and for these young guys to have those belts was pretty phenomenal. So kudos to the Southern Six for winning the U.S. tag team titles. So, and the Brewery Boys broadcast, I'm proud to announce, we earned a top fan badge for Matt Cardona's Facebook page.
Top fan badge, baby. There we go.
That is right. So whenever we post on Cardona's page, it's a top fan badge. So
and
now
going back to John Cena, he did call out Matt Cardona when he did the Pipe Bomb promo. So that was pretty under his actual name, not his WWE name.
Not the Zack Ryder. So now I know you wanted to kind of touch on your boy Hogan, what's going on with? Is he alive?
Yeah,
is
we're
he
like-
dead? What's Bubba the Love
I've
Sponge?
been checking out Bubba the Love Sponge. He is talking like Hogan is in a medical-induced coma because of he's had some people he's talked to. He says he knows the doctor did a heart valve replacement on Hogan. When Hogan's camp is saying it's just back and neck, Hogan's recovering, blah blah blah. Bubba is saying it's serious, and maybe the heart is rejecting the valve, and so I don't know if they're going to maybe do a total heart transplant.
Oh
That's
wow.
what Bubba's saying, but it seems odd to me because this has been going on, and we've not heard from Hogan, who is a rubbing,
Well, yeah.
want to be out there in the spotlight kind of
Yeah.
guy. You'd think he'd shoot a promo for either his karaoke night at his
Yeah.
bar there or something. Or
Yeah,
just come,
or is he wrestling company?
just come out and say, "Hey, Bubba, no, I'm fine."
Yeah.
Or get a shot at him recovering. Hey, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
So this, I'm a little worried because they've been silent
Like,
on his
you-
camp
and you're
side.
saying like the camp is coming out and saying no.
No, it's just
but
back and
nothing
back.
from Hogan.
He's recovering, but I can't see Hogan recovering and not shooting a video of
Saying, hey.
him by the pool with Flair or down in his bar. Just,
Yeah.
And after Bubba has been talking all this for a couple weeks and bringing up all these, what he
Yeah.
calls facts and people
Yeah.
he's talked to, that Hogan has not come out
And brought something to
and
light.
brought something to me like, hey, I'm okay.
That's
There's not been a peep from Hogan at all.
that's
Like I
okay.
said, Bubba is saying it seems like a very serious thing
dire.
for what he's saying.
It's dire.
Yeah, as of 5 hours ago, I'm looking here from a Frightful report, and it says that inside Hogan's camp that he had a neck fusion surgery, and currently he cannot move his arms or hands. So that's an update that I'm looking at. From
I mean,
the
that's
Frightful
pretty
report.
serious as well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you get back there doing neck and back surgeries, you can obviously get a nerve.
It's
And,
probably his umpteenth
Yeah.
neck and back surgery he's had.
Over the years.
But still, you would think he'd come out and be like,
Hey, I'm okay.
hey, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
But, I got maybe some tingling in my neck.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you
it
on
makes
that. I
it,
mean,
makes it look worse.
I don't know if you noticed yesterday, Jeff Jarrett started talking a little bit of crap about Hulk Hogan in the TNA days.
I did not see
Without being
That was
able
on,
to.
who was he talking with? I saw that.
Yeah, he was on. I forget what podcast
Somebody- yeah, it
he
was a
was on.
podcast.
Yeah, it was a podcast he was talking on, but he was just without Hogan being able to respond. I think that's just your point. Like something might be wrong with him because
And
he's
there's
not able to
something
defend
between
himself.
Jarrett and Hogan because when Jarrett had to come out and he dropped the belt to Hogan that night,
Oh
he
yeah,
laid on
back
the
at the
ground,
beach.
Yeah.
pissed off.
Oh yeah, Jarrett and Hogan. I don't think they've liked each other for several years now. But so Hogan, you have the #1 Hulkamaniac right there. You need to reach out. You need to reach out.
Yeah, why don't you text him?
Text him. Let him know you're
He's
okay.
always on social media.
We were doing good, brother.
All right. So there's your input on Hogan.
Hey, and if you're a Hogan fan, he's got a brand new shop just opened up in Pigeon Forge.
I saw that.
You saw it or not? So
Oh yeah.
yeah, they got a little museum down there. You can see a bunch of his memorabilia, buy some Hogan
Got
gear.
one in St.
you know.
Petersburg. You got his Hogan's Hangout.
Hogan's
is the
Hangout,
bar
yes, the
in
bar,
St.
yep.
Pete's. Plus the shop he has.
Hogan's Beach Shop or something, what it's called.
Well,
But they do
Lexington, we know it'll be
exactly.
They do karaoke there. Flair's there all the time.
Yeah.
They've had
Brian Knobs is there all
Brian
the
Knobs
time.
is always hanging out with
Yeah.
him.
Jim Duggan was just there with his daughter.
Jimmy
OJ.
Hart was there.
Yeah.
I mean, he rolls in. People come in and see it.
Okay.
And every single week they give away a title belt. Like they spend some money on them bad
Oh,
boys.
wow.
If you win the karaoke
And then they have a
championship,
big-
you leave a title.
Big thing at the end of the whatever.
Yep.
Nice.
With
Okay.
with his son
Yeah.
doing the.
So what you're saying is the Brewery Boys are taking a road trip to Hogan's Hangout.
Apparently.
You know,
We can do some karaoke. We know we can sing karaoke.
Yeah, that's true.
let's all just pile in a Kia Rio and go down there.
Yeah, speaking of injuries and surgeries and old wrestlers, Flair I saw is also.
Oh man, that
I
was
saw a
bad.
picture of something. He's all stapled up in his
Colossal
Yeah.
bag hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
he was,
I didn't hear exactly what happened, but
Yep.
Well, there were some rumors that he was in bars pooping himself. So I don't know what that went
Eric,
down.
just don't talk about what you did last Saturday.
it's like,
You know,
woo,
we're talking
gotta
about
poop.
Flair.
Woo,
Exactly.
pooping.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell he's doing, but anyway. All right. So
What do we want to go into? NBA draft? You wanna
that'll
talk
be the
about some
wrestling
football
roundup
trades?
for the week. Yeah. So yeah. So what I think the last time we did something, your boys picked up Jair Alexander
Yep.
from your boys. So you guys just pretty much you gave them a nice little piece to the trophy there. And of course, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers getting. This make no sense to
Trading
me.
2 to the Dolphins, and Dolphins getting 2 from Pittsburgh. Like literally the exact players. Mika Fitzpatrick is amazing. Why would you get rid of that?
Well,
man?
Minka came from Miami.
Yeah.
So it's
He
like,
must want to retire
yeah,
from
you're,
Miami.
Yeah, you're
It
sending him
seems that
back.
Pittsburgh
And then
has
Miami.
lost their way.
Yeah, any Pittsburgh Steelers fan
They
has
made
a
some
closet full of
weird-
jerseys they cannot wear anymore.
Yeah.
They've made some weird decisions in the last couple of years.
Larry, I think he's talking to you.
Uh-oh.
No, Larry's at Baltimore. Hannah's a Steelers fan.
That's a Hannah Fitzpatrick fan.
Yeah.
She was so mad. They just got married last weekend, and she had a Fitzpatrick jersey, and now her name was Fitzpatrick, and now she can't wear it. So.
Ah.
Yeah.
Will Howard, I will say, from The Ohio State University,
Oh.
was looking good in the minicamps. He was, I believe he was almost 88% completion rate, no interceptions time. Then they go and they get Rodgers.
So now he's going to be second fiddle.
So he's
third
back
fiddle.
down a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
Rodgers,
Thank you,
to
sir.
me,
Rodgers hadn't been good for a
has
couple
not
years.
shown enough
No.
to warrant it. His attitude just sucks. He's pissed me off, to be honest.
Yeah.
His attitude's poor.
I'm worried about
Aaron
him being in
Rodgers.
AFC North. But I mean, that's a different type of football. You think about Aaron Rodgers, the teams that he's used to playing. AFC North, there's some rough football teams.
That's what I have.
So
a
you
feeling
get Aaron
he's gonna
Rodgers out there, he's gonna get
complain halfway
injured
through the season.
Fast.
When he plays the Bengals,
fast.
Twice.
there's going to be some hitting going on where he's not used to it.
You know what I want to see though? When the Steelers play Browns, I want Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
out
versus
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Let's go old school with that one. Let Flacco play that game.
I think
Yeah.
Flacco would be better.
I mean, I agree.
I think so
Absolutely,
too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
That man was 4 years old sitting on his couch and he got that phone call. Hey, you want to play some football
And he
again?
took them to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they ended up losing to Houston, but still. But the one thing I want to see is I want to see when the Steelers play the Ravens, because those games are brutal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So Rodgers.
That game and the Bengals game, there's always some
Yeah,
extra
there-
hitting
yeah,
and
there's-
pushing and
yeah.
shoving going on.
Last time I went to a Steelers-Ravens game, I didn't know what they did with their terrible towels. And I got soaking wet, and that's piss, man. They like to pee on those terrible towels and sling them around when they're sitting on the Ravens side.
That didn't sound very. I mean, that's going to fall on them as well, I would think. You know, you're slinging pee on it with a
Well, these guys, they buy tickets in the on the home side because there's the visitor side sold out. So they're sitting with Ravens fans just swinging this terrible towel around, and they just dipped in a urinal. I didn't know that was true, and it is true. Pretty gross.
losers.
That is pretty gross. Yeah.
Pretty
Leave it to the
gross.
Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah,
They
really.
did top 100 players, though. I did see today they put Lamar Jackson in current NFL top 100. He was number 1. They put Lamar up there, and then number 10 actually was Joe Burrow, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
I have yet to see enough from Burrow that I'm sold on him as a great player.
As a great player. Yeah.
I will say, he hasn't really had the pieces. He hasn't had the offensive line, but he's exciting to watch.
I mean, there's been some times, yeah.
He's exciting to watch, but I don't think he's.
I mean, I will say the year they went to the Super Bowl, he single-handedly
Took them to
took
the
them
Super
to the
Bowl.
Super Bowl. So that was kind of, with me, that was a defining moment. But yes, here the last 2-3
Well,
years.
starting out his first 2 years, he was.
Well, his first year he got
Injured.
hurt. Yeah, he had that. Yeah, and then the second year I think it was the Super Bowl year.
No, first year Super Bowl year, then he got hurt with his
Well, no,
thumb.
his knee, and was the first year, his rookie season. So he was.
He started and
He
went
got
out
hurt,
and
and
he
then-
came back.
Yeah,
and got
so the
hurt,
second
out.
season.
Last
which
year
is
they probably
actually-
went a little further if it wasn't for that thumb, because you could see him holding it. He was
Yeah.
trying his best. But here's the so right now NFL top 100 current. Here's the top 10. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, number 1. Myles Garrett, defensive end, number 2. Saquon Barkley, number 3, running back. Number 4, Josh Allen, quarterback. Number 5, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for Vikings.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, number 6, wide receiver, Cincinnati Bengals. Micah Parsons, number 7, Dallas,
yeah.
defensive end. Number 9, Pat Surratt II for Denver Broncos,
yeah,
He
center.
deserves that.
Yep.
It's not hard.
CeeDee Lamb is number 9, another Dallas player, wide receiver. And coming in at number 10, like I said, Joe Burrow.
Joe
Cincinnati
Burrow.
Bengals.
I don't think Parsons should be that far up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Dallas fan, but you
I
gotta.
mean, how do you have 2 Dallas players? One of the most losing teams in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
2 Dallas players in your NFL top.
You can't remember
10.
the last time they smelled the playoffs.
No.
Yeah.
I think Parcells. And I think they had Quincy.
It's the most overrated, hyped up team.
Oh yeah, they haven't been anything since the '90s. So yeah.
And they've had talent
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll give it to Jerry on that perspective. He spends money and gets the talent.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is smart.
But then something happens. It does not equate to anything on the field.
Is there coaching staff? I mean, I don't know.
I would get rid of what's his name?
Mike McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Well, I think he is. He's
Yeah.
Brian
Oh,
Callahan.
all right.
Yeah, Brian Callahan, who was the offensive coordinator last year, is now
They
your
should
head
have gone
coach.
outside.
Yeah.
And brought somebody.
They should.
I think in current football, and you can disagree with me if you want to on this, I completely understand. You've got a lot of coaches, and you've got a lot of quarterback coaches, defensive coaches. They know football. They played football. They're former players. They're getting up there in age. They don't know the current product, the current game, the way that the sport is played now.
Yeah,
it's a little
them up.
different. It's past their prime. You need to get some younger guys in there, maybe some injured ones that that know a little bit more about what these young guys can do. And maybe they're going to put a different perspective to coaching, and some teams that are down here might move up a little bit.
So that's why
Now, I take that same attitude and view. I would place that on college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is-
agree 100%.
I mean, let's take it right here to the hometown team.
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
And Mark Stoops.
They said they're
I
gonna
mean,
Do we
Dead
have
last.
to talk this? I mean, this is the.
he brought him up a little bit, but they just stayed at the same level for the last 5 years or whatever.
Yeah. AP polls are already saying they're going to be dead last in the SEC this year.
I think it's time. You know, who are we going to bring in? I like when Texas fans talk about, well,